Hi, this is Joe again with another review. For the sake of this video, we'll be discussing the 1953 sci-fi horror movie, The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms. Of course, this movie came at a time when you have a boatload, in a decade, the 1950s, where you have a boatload of these type of monster movies. That's pretty much what they would call the monster movies. And of course, this movie came out a year before the most famous monster movie, which of course is Godzilla. When we mean monster movies, I'm not talking about the old Universal films where you had Dracula, Frankenstein, the Wolfman, and the Mummy, and so forth. I'm talking about these giant monsters that wreck everything. So, and that's what this movie basically is. But instead of being a monster, it was like a dinosaur. It's like a fictional dinosaur. There's no such dinosaur as the one in this movie, but they completely made up this dinosaur just for this particular movie. It's not like the dinosaurs you see in like in Jurassic Park or something, but those were actual dinosaurs in that movie. Even though they're all CGI, those were all actual dinosaurs that actually existed. In The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms, the dinosaur that was used in this movie was completely made up for this particular film. Now we're going to a long introduction there, but the Beast from 20,000 Fathoms is basically a movie about there was this research crew in the North Pole who were conducting experiments, A-bomb experiments, or should I say experiments on the A-bomb, the atom bomb. And they exploded one in the North Pole, and they're doing experiments on how it affected the environment and stuff, or how long the effects of the atom bomb will last in an environment such as the North Pole. And while the bomb went off, they woke or awakened this monster, this dinosaur has been preserved in a block of ice for millions of years since the age of the dinosaurs, and it killed almost killed one of the workers, and did kill someone else who was out investigating the effects of the A-bomb test, and they couldn't. And the one that lived, one of the two workers. Scientists that lived, no one believed this guy, because no one believed that this monster, seeing monsters type thing. They thought it was nuts. So what happened was, eventually, this creature swam from the North Pole down around Cape Cod, in Massachusetts, and all the way into New York City. It was running amok in New York City. And of course, eventually, by the end of the movie, and the movie's not very long, it's only an hour and 20 minutes, so it's not a particularly long film, which is typical for the era for these monster movies, not having a very long film. They eventually did kill, and I'm not going to say how they do it because I ruined the end of the movie, but these type of movies, the creature or the monster usually gets killed off by the end of the film. So it's not that unusual plot in this film, except for the fact that trying to, or the scientists involved, trying to convince everybody about, that the monster exists and stuff. At first, of course, when you just mentioned, nobody hardly believes this guy. They thought they was going nuts, and eventually they're hearing more and more stories from people out at sea who account this sea serpent. And then, of course, people thought they were drunk. They didn't say on drugs, but they were like convinced they were drunk, or they were just seeing things, or that it was out boring them and made up these stories. Meanwhile, they of course eventually found out that it wasn't true, and they used Ray Harryhausen, who was like one of the special effects icons, who did work as a assistant on the 1933 classic King Kong. So he used some of the techniques that he helped develop for King Kong for the Beast from 20,000 Fathoms, in terms of using the stop motion animation, and I thought it was some great special effects used in the attack scenes. One thing that was impressive was when the Beast is walking through the streets of Manhattan. Like I said earlier, it eventually gets to New York City, and you see about the Brooklyn Bridge in the background. He destroys the Beast destroys one of the bridges. It was pretty impressive. Special effects even back then was pretty impressive. And to see it go through the streets of Manhattan. And the interesting thing is, you see the Beast walking in and out of the shadows in between the buildings in Manhattan, which is unique, because you really don't get that type of an effect in the movie. I know the guys from Cinemassacre, they reviewed this movie like several years ago during the Monster Madness. And one of the 10 years they did the Monster Madness, and they pointed that out. And so I watched this movie for the very first time just last night, and it was kind of impressive to see him walk through the buildings, and you see him going in and out of shadows, the Beast. So that was kind of impressive as a special effect. And of course, at the end of the movie, he's destroying a roller coaster, Corleone, and in the movie, it's applied as the famous Cyclone roller coaster ride that's a Corleone. But it was actually filmed at a different roller coaster, and it was like a model of a roller coaster. And it was modeled to look like the Cyclone, but it was actually modeled after another roller coaster in LA, not in New York City. But it was pretty impressive how they did all the special effects. But like I said, it's like a typical monster movie that's typical for the 1950s. Even though it is one of the, I think it's one of the better ones, but it's still a typical monster movie for that era. And like I said, I already reviewed like a bunch of them earlier. Look them up on my YouTube channel here, because I reviewed a bunch of them, and it's like nothing really new to the genre. But it's very interesting to like another monster movie is scratched off my list. But The Beast for 20,000 Fathoms is definitely one of the more iconic ones because of Ray Harryhausen's special effects for this film. So check it out if you haven't seen it. So that's my review of the movie The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms. Please click on the video, please rate it, please subscribe to my channel, and please forward this video onto your Facebook pages. You can check out all my reviews on my YouTube channel at rallyc.com, that's all WDY. And at C.com, there's a whole page for any reviewer, Christine Moore, and please check out all of his videos on his website. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.